Okay, so let's add the pedal to this now. Woo. It's a not so well kept secret that all the top sample makers use guitar pedals to process their sounds. Whether it's the Thermae or the Microcosm, the Blooper or the Cooper Effects arcades, these pieces of hardware have been and will continue to shape the sound of music as we know it. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. When it comes to guitar pedals, there are three main problems that I've come across. First of all, they're really hard to come by. You can almost never find them directly from the seller. You have to go on eBay or Reverb. This leads to the second problem. They're really expensive. If something's rare and sought after, obviously the price is just going to go up. And finally, once you do manage to get your hands on one of these pedals, they're really difficult to use. And this can lead you to thinking, did I just waste all that time, money and effort trying to get this pedal? What if you could save yourself that stress by replicating these pedals inside FL Studio with the plugins that you already have? Well, today's your lucky day, because I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. Let's get into it. So I'm in FL Studio, I've got this one shot loaded up, and I've got this nice little chord progression here as well. So the plugin that makes all of this possible is Patcher. It's a stock plugin inside FL Studio, so if you've got FL, you can use it. I have a pedal called the KMA Cirrus. It has quite a few features, but one of the features that I really love is the reverb. And what makes this reverb special is that there's a chorus modulated reverb setting. I think that's a great place for us to start, so I'm going to try and replicate that now. So this is what it looks like when you open up Patcher. As you can see, it's got from FL Studio to FL Studio and then Surface. We'll worry about Surface later. So essentially, this is where the MIDI is coming from. What we want to do is drag a line to the other setting over here. This basically allows you to hear the dry signal. So what we want to do is add some effects and build a chain around. So first things first, I want to add a reverb. Now what you want to do is right click, add plugin. All your plugins are going to come up. I'm just going to start with a Valhalla Vintage Verb. Right now, you're not going to be able to hear it. It's not activated. What we need to do is activate it. So we need to take it from the dry signal into the reverb and then out of the reverb into the output here. So if I press play right now, we'll be able to hear the dry signal, which is going straight from FL to the output. And we'll also be able to hear the wet signal, which is going into the reverb and back out into the same output. To keep things simple so you guys can understand easily, what we want to do is create a knob for the decay and a knob for the mix. The first step to doing this is clicking Surface. If we click Add, we can choose a button, a knob, a slider. We're going to go for a knob. Let's go for the default just to start off with. Let's rename it and let's rename this reverb mix. So if we head back over to map, you can see there's a red button here. Now we need a red button coming out of the reverb. So what we're going to do is right click, inputs, parameters. Obviously you can see everything gets pulled up here, every single setting inside the reverb. For now, we're just going to do the mix like I said. As you can see, the red button appears. You just drag that to the red button here. If we go back to the Surface, untick this, and now when I press play, there's no reverb. When I bring this all the way up, so you can hear it's changing the mix of the reverb. So next I want to add a knob for the decay of the reverb. What we're going to do again, go to the plus, knob, we'll just choose default again. Then we head over to map, right click the reverb again, inputs, parameters, and we're going for decay. So let's drag this to the red button, we go back to Surface, and now the reverb decay, you can control it with this here. But what I'm going to get to next is what makes doing this so unique and you can get such a unique sound from it. Obviously you can modulate the reverb inside Valhalla, but that's not giving you a unique sound. Everyone can do that. I want to make something completely unique to me. So let's add a new plugin and let's just go for a chorus. So what we need to do is make sure the output of the reverb is going into the chorus. We need to get rid of the connection to the output, and then we need to connect the output of the chorus into the main output. So we still have the dry signal coming through here, but then on top of that, we have the reverb running through a chorus and then to the output as well. So let's just open up the chorus. Let's choose a preset. Let's go for flanging. So now if I press play, you're going to hear a difference straight away. What I want to be able to do is affect the mix of the chorus. So I'm going to go to Surface, add. Let's add a slider this time, just the default one. So now if we go to map, let's choose inputs, parameters, and then mix. We take it here, we go back to Surface. So now this is going to change how much of the chorus you can hear. Obviously if it's full. So we started off nice and simple. You're starting to see how this can work. Let's mess around with the settings that we've got, find a nice sound, and then move on to something extra. I'm also going to add a quick EQ. Just to cut a little bit of the low end out. And now I have a second sound loaded up. It's just a piano one shot, and I've copied the exact same chords, but I've got an idea for where I want to take this with another patcher. Now this time I don't want to hear the dry signal at all. I want to make this more of a textural element on top, and I've got an idea where I want to go with it. So for the first plugin, I want to add a space echo. Let's just scroll through and find a preset that I like. So I like how that sounds, nice little reverb, bit of a tape effect as well. So next I want to add a pitcher, just to pitch it up by an octave. So we're going to go to waves, connect that to the output, and let's just double click it, open a soundshifter, and then just pitch it up an octave. After that, I want to add a portal. I want to make it super textural. Again, let's just scroll through the presets, see if we can find something, maybe in the pitch. And finally, I've got a clever loaded up. I want to add the vocal chorus preset. Now that's just a wet signal. We can drag this to here and we can hear the dry signal too. But I really like the sound without the dry signal, just wet. I want to make this kind of like a 1 or 2 knob pedal. So this is the effect it's going to give you, but I want to let the person decide if there's a low pass filter on it. And I think it would be cool to add a halftime onto it as well. And you can change whether it's got full halftime, no halftime, somewhere in the middle. So first I've got the halftime loaded up. I'm just going to put that and link it all up together. That's all good. So if we click inputs, parameters, I want to change the mix. So let's create the first knob here. Let's just choose this one. Obviously, you can get super creative with whatever you want to call these knobs. For me, I'm just going to name it halftime. So then we're back in the map. What I'm going to do is connect that out here. And then obviously, if it's all the way on, it's all the way on. If it's off, finally, I've added an EQ. What I'm going to do is make this a low pass filter. So this is number 7. What we're going to need to do is create another knob. So let's just go this one. So if we right click, go to inputs, parameters, band 7 frequency. Then if we connect that. What's so great about this is now we've got this all done, we can save it. So we go to save as, name it whatever. Let's just name it Sparkle. Saved. And then whenever you load up a new FLP, a new mixer track, you can drag this straight on. So to demonstrate that, what I'm going to do is drag a perk loop in. We're at 140 BPM. So let's try and find, this one's 130. And that sounds cool. I want to use the exact same effect that we did on the last one. So I'm going to put this onto mixer track 3. Let's open up a patcher. We go to the presets. You can see Sparkle is saved. Everything's loaded up here. So let's just play around with these knobs and see what we can come up with. I think that shows you guys how you can create your own effects and create really unique sounds using patcher. What I'm going to do now is just finish off the sample. I think first I'm going to add a vocal loop. This one's from Layers. This one's in B minor, B harmonic I think, but this will fit fine. So C sharp, C, B. Let's bring it up an octave, so +9. So next I want to add a little bit of a counter melody. To that, I'm just adding a delay. I want to make it super heavy though. Bring the drive up. Bring it up a little bit. Let's go 8th notes. Bring the mix pretty heavy. And I've also added a halftime to the bell. Okay, so this is the final sample. I didn't go too in depth with this one because obviously I wanted to show you guys how to use the patcher. But yeah, it sounds like this. Obviously, you can go a lot more in depth with patcher. You can customize all the different settings, make it however you want. Like I said, you can save the presets, you can send them out to people. It's really cool, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. I'm also going to link below a video or two that I watched about patcher that goes into a lot more detail than I did about how to route things and do stuff like that. Apart from that, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.